It's just putting on headphones. There's less static or reverb or whatever.
All right, and we got Theo.
Hey.
Cool.
Hooray.
All right, can you see my screen?
It looks totally different on your screen.
Can you
Nice.
see my screen now?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, like when I try it on my screen, like everything's like squished together and kind of broken looking. I think that's just because of the Max Retina display.
Could be. Okay, let's do something. I just happen to have this. So every,
What are we?
let's see, right now, we're going to make it go back. We're going to say every 500 milliseconds, go back. Run. Okay. Notice the robot moving back
Nice.
and stop. All right, that was the demo. Done.
Cool.
What's the idea?
There are some, obviously, the potential for people to create spam with this is great. And therefore, I put some limits, some harder limits on this where you can only, like one user can only send like so many commands per unit of time, like per every few minutes. You can still kind of spam it, but that reduces the spam. And that's it for the demo. But anyway, just to put it in perspective, the point is there's a lot of demand for like educational stuff with robots and programming stuff. So it seemed like a good thing to prototype. I did this in one sitting. It was pretty quick to prototype here. We can integrate it into the actual site. I would imagine that being done is like maybe Jill come up with a design and then
Yeah,
work
like
it in or something.
this isn't something I would open up for every bot for sure. Like this would be like an optional thing, and I think it would be really good for like a user could submit a program and then like it could be approved by the Robocaster or something like to run or it could be used to like set up a more complicated command. So we have this is a good like scripting tool for commands that I think. But yeah, I think that's totally like awesome.
Cool.
And then that'll make Parallax happy too because we're using Blockly. But yeah, I already told you there's like billions of pluses for this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, Martin, he was trying to get his class to use the robots, and I think his teacher said like if it were programmable or something, then they would be into it.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we should follow up on that.
Yeah.
And that's about it for my update. I'm putting together another GoPy bot. I know those perhaps are not the most popular things, but I think it's important that we can kick these things out quickly while we're doing a more complicated design process. So I'm going to make another one of those real quick. And that's it. That's it for me.
Okay.
All right, well, down order.
Yeah, we're out of order.
Get ready for us.
Who are you gonna send the GoPy to?
Fierce Kitten.
Peter Skitten?
The Fierce Kittens.
Fierce Kittens.
Peter Skitten.
Is that on our list?
Yeah. Well, it's not on the
Yeah,
broadcaster
it's on-
list, but it's on the sheet one. Not on
it should be
not
on
the batch.
broadcaster
list.
candidates.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Maybe I put it in the wrong place.
No, it is. It's there.
It is?
It's on the first tab of the broadcaster candidates Excel sheet. It's not on the
Well,
second
then,
tab.
broad, and then like batch one candidates.
It's row
Oh, here's
6.
okay. So yeah, like oh god, I can hear myself.
Where's this echo?
I can't talk if I can hear myself.
Is it?
And yeah, congrats, guys. And then yeah, I just like the pilot program. I'm trying to think of just like how to make sure like we keep it organized and keep everyone on the same page. And like make sure that like we're all communicating with each other and you know, so that way like we know what the status is on everything. So if you know, if you guys, if there's a change, like update the spreadsheet. On that broadcaster spreadsheet, there's actually 2 tabs. So there's one tab that's for everyone that we're contacting. So if you're contacting people but you're not putting them on that list, you should, so that way nobody, you know, like is contacting the same person. And if there's somebody that's like agreed to go, you know, to go, like there's a second tab where you can put them there. But I don't think we need to like push that hard anymore to get broadcasters. So I think like the main goal now is probably just going to be to get those parallax bots like done and out the door, and in the hands of people, and start getting them to use. And then me and Theo also went briefly over today, like sort of what our priorities were when we like first started down this particular path. And I think we were kind of done with a lot of it. And so that's, I mean, that's like been excellent progress on all of that stuff. See if I can dig that up real quick. Priorities discussion. Yeah, so we got, so I know that we're still sort of working on the smooth robot control. And so that, and I'm just going to mention, we don't have to have like a whole discussion about it, but like I know that we were talking about upgrading the robots or updating the robots remotely. And like one of the things that I think we'll need to be able to do is upgrade the motor controllers remotely, so we need to be able to update the code that's on the parallax board via the Pi, like through whatever method that we're using. And I don't know if that's like in scope. Like I think that we talked about it, but I feel like it's gonna end up being an issue if we ship out robots and we can't update the actual onboard code on the motor controller. And then yeah, but we do have some remote upgrades, I think, right? We've got the website reskin. We've got a lot of the chat stuff done. We've got the mass user interface has like come a long way. We found our 10 streamers with at least 10K followers, so we're actually 6 times over like our goal as far as like follower outreach, which is great. And then yeah, we're in the process of finishing the business merge, and as soon as we get that paperwork in, like we can close the round that we started with Sandhill Angels. So those are all good things. Yeah, and I think that's it for things I wanted to say.
Yeah, I'm surprised like we hit all of our goals, or very close to hitting all of our goals.
Yeah, we're still. I mean, these are the March goals, right? And May, and we're on May 11th, and yeah, I was really hoping to get robots. Like in my head, I was hoping to start shipping the robots out by the end of the second week of May. So if we can actually get some of those telebots put together this weekend, like that would be right on track.
I thought you said today that we put this Excel sheet together like a month ago.
Yeah, we did.
Right. Okay.
I meant, like,
so
these were our goals for May. So like we made this list right last month, like about halfway through the month after we got done with the dinner meeting. And so yeah, this is the thing that we like, the plan that we went through when we were all together for 4 days.
Yeah.
And yeah, good work, guys.
Yeah. Good job, everybody. Yeah. I mean, we're doing great. Next month, you know, like all of our goals double or become exponential. So it's
No, we're still just making 10 more robots next month.
Yeah, right. All right, who's next? Is it me?
Sure. Okay, we're
Okay.
out of order today. We're going backwards.
Going backwards.
So if we're going backwards, you should be last, Theo.
Okay, then it's Benny next, I think.
All right. So in terms of getting Parallax, so I finally have like the remaining parts on the way. I worked a little bit more on just kind of like the LED like interpreting thing. I haven't actually talked to Robin, but just kind of my end of that. And I basically just had like a basic like base round of it, didn't do any kind of specifics. And I've just been kind of thinking about like where these 3D printed parts should attach to the robot frame itself, just because you want the robot to like feel solid. You don't want like it just to be kind of like a flimsy shell. Kind of like on the outside of it, you want it to actually like be attached. And so I've kind of been doing some like hand sketches on how that should be handled. I'll start basically with just like a top and a bottom plate that will be milled out, and then kind of work from there. But I don't have the Wi-Fi card dimensions. I think that's like one thing. So if someone could just provide me with like you know, roughly it's like thickness as well as its
They have specs on their site.
I saw like specs, but it seemed like it was more for the like the chip itself rather than the like the card. But I could poke around and potentially find them.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look at that.
Okay, yeah, just like throw some calipers on there and give me general stuff. But yeah, other than that, I will probably spend some amount of time tonight. Like I'll try and get like at least a somewhat rough prototype and start printing them and just seeing if things will match. Yeah, I spoke with Jill about kind of like how the whole electrical system will work and the charging, and so we kind of clarified that after some confusion. hopefully, but maybe not. But yeah, that's what I did.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Benny. Kevin? I think you're
Still
muted.
muted. Still muted. Well, maybe just can you leave the call and come back? It might have like gotten mad at you because you muted yourself. Oh.
Okay. Well, I'll go next while he's doing that. Let's see, what have I done? Actually, Kevin, go ahead.
Is it better?
Yep.
Okay. One second, I'm sorry. Yeah, I found 15 broadcasters. Do we still need them or
What?
not?
Oh. Wait,
Oh.
what do you mean by found?
Well, I was going to email 15 of them. I found them today. They have over 2 million followers, but if we don't need it anymore.
Well, we'll need it eventually, but we should probably hold off on reaching out more until we finish our first batch.
Okay.
Unless
They're on the
somebody
bottom. I just upgraded them, so I will.
disagrees with that for whatever reason.
And then I just updated the WordPress homepage just to add a few more press articles from the history, so they don't play once, and then just that brief article on the Beyond Peak. That's pretty much all I've done.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Kevin. All right. So I've been working on uploading robot profile pictures as well as user profile pictures. You guys may have seen that in the general chat. So to avoid having just dicks everywhere on our front page, I put this moderation scheme in place where if somebody uploads a robot profile picture, it will go to the moderation channel, and then anybody or any of us can type approve and then the robot ID, and then it'll approve it, and then it'll show up on the front page. And same for the user, but for the user profile pictures, you have to type approve space user space username. And then the user profile pictures, well, I mean, they don't even get shown anywhere right now, but eventually they will. And I've been working out the kinks on the mass user control system thing. Yeah, I mean, did that today when I met with Jill. We met at the Hacker Dojo, and Jill had said in the chat they seem like they're willing to allow us to have a robot running around there, so that'll be cool.
He was really excited. Like he talked about it a lot after you left.
Oh yeah,
like,
nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I wonder like if we could keep the voice on, or maybe that'll be too annoying.
So Kevin, you need to mute because you're eating back. Yeah, but I also have a question. Who are you talking about again?
If you scroll to the bottom of the contact list, I just found more potential people. But that was before I learned that we don't need any more currently. Or at least right now.
What?
I was saying, which person were you talking?
Hacker Dojo. It's we were at this place called Hacker Dojo in Santa Clara, San Jose, and it's just like this space where people are allowed to hack together. So it's like a big space with a bunch of people in it, and I guess we talked to the owner or somebody in command manager, and he said that we can have one roaming around there. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. So I worked on the mass user interface stuff. Still a few kinks left in that. Notably, it gets stuck still sometimes, so I'll have to figure that out. Yeah, but I made it so that if you hold your mouse down, it will now like keep moving the robot forward. And actually, this is something I wanted to bring up, to Rick and Benny. So I'm thinking, like, should we? I mean, what are you guys' thoughts about like instead of like right now, if you hold down a keyboard command, it like sends a bunch of like if you hold down left, it'll send a bunch of left commands like every millisecond or something. What if we just sent one command when it gets first pressed down, and then another command later when it gets released? I don't know like how difficult
Well,
that will be to allow.
that would be weird.
That'd be weird.
Yeah, like you either do it one of two ways. You press it and you don't send another command until you press it again, or you press it down and it's a continuous motion. But it's weird if we, yeah, send a second command on button up.
Slow down. We are doing the button down and button up.
Well, we're tracking button up, but we shouldn't be sending a command when you get the button up. It should stop. I mean, that should be actually terminating.
No, I
the
know.
command.
I know. I mean, that's not what I meant.
It should be a command when there's a button up to terminate.
Well,
Okay.
hold on. So when Rick says command when there's a button up to turn, it's not by command. We don't mean move the robot. It's a command to stop the robot.
Okay.
So there's two commands: command to move and then command to stop. And right now, like when you hold down the left button, it's just going to spam a bunch of move, and each of those move commands are interpreted, and like the robot moves for like a second, I think, for each of those commands. So I was thinking, is there a way on the robot side where we can just receive that first down command, the key pressed down, and then it keeps moving until sometime later it gets the key up command? Like, how hard is that to do? Is that a better way or is that a worse way?
That's doable, but I think it still runs into the problem that if, like, for example, like the Wi-Fi drops out, it's gonna just keep going forwards forever, and that's kind of the problem. So I think you can have it be like send it like every 200 milliseconds or 500 milliseconds or something, but it's kind of good to have some kind of like a heartbeat going to the robot just to make sure that it's still receiving commands. But yeah, the timeout thing, like as long as there is a set timeout, I think it's okay.
So for commands and the way that it's coming from the server, I know, like I just know for a fact that 1 second intervals are going to be too slow, and like it should definitely be quicker. Yeah, I don't know if there's I don't know how quick it should be, but like it should definitely be universal. Like no matter what we're doing, like whatever protocol we pick, it should be the same.
It's
for if you press the button or if you press an arrow
let's
key.
just slow down a second and explain everything, because I think, okay, me and Benny are on the same page, but not everybody's on the same page yet.
Let's get on the same page.
Yeah, right now, just as sort of a historical consequence of how we were doing stuff, it sends down, like you press the key and it sends key down, and then it keeps on sending key down, key down, key down, until you let go, and then it sends a key up. Now, that just happens to be something that's really useful. Like all those extra key downs are effectively, it could be thought of as a heartbeat signal, but essentially it's like sending it over and over again. So if you lose connection at any point, you keep getting those key downs, and it allows you to set a timeout on the receiving end. So you can say, hey, if I didn't receive anything for 2 seconds, just go ahead and stop the robot because I've lost connection, basically. So the way the robot can respond to those downs is just say, look, when I receive the first down, I start moving, and then if I keep getting downs, I just keep on moving, and then when I get an up, I finally stop moving. And if I get nothing for too long, then I time out and stop anyways. And that's a pretty good way to do it. We probably don't need to send the key down events so fast anymore. Like we could space them out more in time without hurting anything, because they are just gobbling up bandwidth. There's so many of them.
So the reason why I even bring this up is because I'm working on when you press the mouse on one of these movement buttons and you keep it pressed, we want to keep the robot moving continuously. Right now, it'll just send that one movement command and then move, and the robot will move for a second and then it'll stop. And you can still be holding down that button and it's not going to do anything. So what I had to do on the client side is now I have this, to get around that, I have this interval on the client side going like every, well, right now it's too slow, but it'll be like every millisecond it's going to keep sending a move command.
You mean like every second?
Every second or whatever. Yeah, every second it's going to send a move command if your mouse is held down.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, it works. I mean, we tested it today, but I was just thinking, like, is there a better way to do that rather than have the clients be running this interval thing all the time?
There's not really a better way to do it. That is the right thing to do.
Okay.
I mean, not every millisecond, of course. That'd be crazy, but like every second.
Every second, sure.
Yeah.
Well, it should be the same behavior as the arrow keys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As much as we
it
can.
should be timed the same interval that the arrow keys does it.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, it's gonna like be really hard
Otherwise-
to program for.
Yeah, and also otherwise the arrow keys are going to win out if they're like one person's holding down the mouse and someone else is holding down the keyboard.
That should not be the case. It should not make any difference whatsoever what that
Actually, yeah.
interval is unless the network drops packets. The interval is just a mechanism of increasing the robustness.
Well,
Actually, yeah, you're right.
So
Never
the
mind.
problem here is that like when your robot gets like a left or an up or whatever command, it only does it for however long that command lasts, and some of them don't last, that second. Some of them last a quarter second or a half second. So you end up with the robot going left, stop left.
Oh, you're right. I mean, right now, it's totally true. If you changed it to like 1 second instead of what it uses, it would totally mess up the robots that we have.
Yeah.
I just mean like pushing forward, if we assumed this control system were actually implemented correctly on all the robots, then that particular interval won't really make much of a difference anymore, other than affecting the robustness of the signal. Because once it starts catching the up events, that's going to give a much more precise control on the ups. But then again, it's like a lot of people might implement it so it just responds to down. So we probably do want to keep that consistent. Just because if people do the easy thing and just like respond to a key down for a time interval, then it'd be nice to have it consistent.
Yeah.
Like 200 milliseconds or 250 milliseconds or something is probably like more than in terms of like length of time. I think that's.
Well, what is the exact timeout on the motors? Or
I have it right now at if it doesn't get anything for 400 milliseconds, but
it varies from robot to robot. And it varies a lot, and it will vary a lot for a lot of different reasons, just depending on what you're doing with it.
Okay.
That can be set to whatever. They just set that arbitrarily.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Got it. What else did I do? I think that might have been it. Emailed more Twitch people, but that's about it. Yeah, that's it.
I think eventually too that interval timing might be something we want to open up to our RoboCasters if that's something if that's a setting that they want to change. I mean, clearly, like we should put limits on it. There should definitely be like a floor, so we can only have the timing be so fast. But I can imagine that some people in the future will want to adjust that interval.
The timing, though, it shouldn't change the behavior of the robot. It should only change kind of how often it times out, because it's going to be moving continuously, and then as soon as there's a key up, it'll stop. So
Yeah, but not everything that we're gonna do in the future is gonna be
Yeah,
key down
yeah,
and key up.
that's true. It's better to just have it figured out now rather than like shipping a bunch of crap out and then having it change for people.
Well, why would we do a? I agree. We should kind of keep it about the same timing as it is now because it's convenient, and make the mouse match the keyboard. That's also convenient. But why would we ever want to like not use a key down, key up? That seems like pretty.
What if
Can't
it's like
think of
a
a case
basic
where.
like a
Well,
basic roboticist who wants to use like a pause instead of like more of an event-based thing? It's like if you're using a pause, like a delay, like a hard delay, it's not going to be able to detect those key ups. Just one example.
What you mean? Like if the robot's just like busy doing something and can't detect the key up at all?
Or like a lot of like Arduino, like robot code. Like I remember Jill's like first code. It will just basically set like the motors to this for like a delay, and then like after that delay, it'll stop the motors. So it's
Yeah,
not going to be like parsing serial input during that time.
yeah, but it would just time out anyway in that case.
Preparing for others to.
Yeah, you're probably right, Rick. Like even if the control scheme changes, like there's still going to be the concept of a key up and key down, even if we use something totally different like an analog stick or like yeah, there's still always going to be like a hold and release. Like I think no matter what. So yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Also, we can. It's kind of like once we implement the system, it is. You can't just make it so when they press the key, it moves for a certain time forward and then ignores the key up after. If you want to program your robot like that,
Yeah.
it's like backward compatible in a sense. Anyways.
Anyways, should we sign our paperwork today?
Yes, we should.
Okay.
So, what you guys should do, you and Rick should both print out your things if you haven't already. You should sign them and scan the whole document and send it to me. And I'm gonna sign them and scan the whole document and send that to the lawyer. And I'll send a copy to you.
Okay, and I can just take photos of these papers, right?
You can take photos. I'd actually recommend going to like a copy store and just scanning the whole thing like in one document and making a PDF. Because I'm going to print them out and do the same thing. I think it's clean. If you can, it's cleaner. If you have access to that somewhere and it's easy. If you don't, like, photos fine.
Does Kinko's do this?
Kinko's should do it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kinko's is FedEx now.
Yeah.
FedEx.
Any place that just has like a regular run-of-the-mill copy machine, like, can usually do that.
Cool.
Sort of thing.
All right. Well, finally, that's done. Yeah. It's beer worthy.
Do it as soon as you can, because I need to upload those documents to Procedure, so that way Sandhill can see that all the documents are up to date, and then that'll let them move forward on the closing the deal.
Okay. Yeah, that's important. Yeah, I mean, someday we'll all grab beers together. I hope everybody here.
We'll grab all the beers.
Yeah, beers, sake, water, whatever. But it'd be nice to like have the team together.
I think we should plan another like all of us working together someplace day, like soon.
Yeah. Like Benny, when's the next time you're gonna be in the Bay Area?
Don't really have too many like concrete plans, but I'm like 4 hours away, so it's not too bad. So
Probably less,
come down
I think.
a weekend or.
Well, I guess. Well, I used to make the trip from Santa Barbara to Gilroy, San Jose, in like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I'm like 4.5 from my home, and then I think SF I could probably do like in like 3 to 3.5.
Cool. And then Kevin's gonna be here next month. Jose's here time to time. Yeah, it'll be fun. Have the entire team
Fun.
together.
Fun.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I think. Anybody want to say something else? Should we just shoot the shit? Talk about politics, religion, gender. I don't know. All right. Cool. All right. Well, thanks guys for joining. We hit a bunch of milestones, so we're doing good.
Good stuff.
Yep. All right. You guys have a good night.
Good night.
Someone should show me the dimensions of the thing, the Wi-Fi card, because it's my final thought.
Okay. Rick, do you have one?
Yeah, I can send you.
Yeah, just like get calipers and just like, give me like just rough, like
Yeah.
the thickness of the board, and then just like the largest dimension of like the Ethernet ports or whatever is.
I'll just give you, X, Y, and Z. I mean,
All right, that's
Cool.
good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be home for a couple hours, so yeah, that'd be awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
all right.
Cool. All right.
Bye.
See you guys. Bye.
All right,
Bye.
later.